I'm a big WWE 2K fan, and I was definitely someone looking forward to this year's WWE 2K iteration with 2K Battlegrounds, featuring definitely a more arcadey and simple approach to the genre of wrestling. And I have to say, guys, I have some good stuff and I have some bad stuff to talk about. So in this video, let's do a quick review of how WWE 2K Battlegrounds runs and plays on Stadia and see if you guys should spend your hard-earned cash. So make sure you're subscribed for future Stadia videos of me covering Stadia games, as well as hit that like button so we can find more Stadians out there. But my initial impressions out of the gate, I immediately loved the gameplay. The controls felt familiar from what I'm used to. They really simplified everything and went with a more smooth and fun combat. Pulling off combos is literally just as easy as hitting one button 3 times. There is counters, there's grapples, and all the things that you're used to when you're playing a typical wrestling game. But the added fun of the power-ups, which you can equip 3 for every character, really gave the game a change of pace and makes it really wacky and enjoyable. Now all the familiar matches are here. We have the Steel Cage, Royal Rumble, classic tag matches, and one-on-one, and all that can be done against the computer or couch multiplayer. Now the game does feature a full-fledged online portion that does have cross-play, but it is limited to King of the Battleground and another one called Tournament Mode. Now one of them has one-on-one where you move up a ladder and you get big rewards if you're the top winner. The other is more chaotic with more players in the ring. Now I actually had no problem with this, with the multiplayer taking in just these 2 modes, because it makes it where the multiplayer portion will only take place in those 2 and not dilute trying to find other players doing random matches like cage matches or random 2v2s or one-on-ones. Overall, having cross-play on Stadia is always a huge and big thing, and it's a big plus here, and I had no problems finding matches. But I will say the multiplayer gameplay itself was a bit of a mixed bag. There's a lot of you having to really counter your opponent's move with very quick button taps, and it can be very hard to trigger in live gameplay. Also, because we are on the cloud, if you don't have a good connection, you might have an issue here. Also, if you're not good at video games and you're not quick at reacting at all, you're going to be having a hard time here with the cross-play multiplayer aspect of the game, so just keep that in mind when making your purchase. As for the rest of what this game has to offer, it has a create a wrestler, but this has its downsides as well, and this is where the problems of the games really start to rear their ugly head, as it continues to be that 2K nonsense you guys always hear me complain about. Now you can bypass the grind of your character and make him stronger by investing in real-life money and buying bucks. This also extends to wrestlers that you have to unlock to play. I wanted to play Brock Lesnar and Stone Cold Steve Austin, 2 of my favorite wrestlers ever, and I couldn't do it because I didn't have the money unlocked or the grind done. The grind itself is pretty brutal. You get very little per match, win or lose, and if you lose consistently, you get even less. Keep this all in mind when you're thinking about buying this game. With that said though, how does this game run on Stadia? And honestly guys, that is all positives here. The game ran great at 4K 60 FPS for me, 100% smooth. Loading times usually took around 10 seconds or less. It was lightning fast. Really, the only time that I had delays was when I was trying to do crossplay and I was waiting for other players to load. I can safely say playing this game on Stadia will probably be one of the best platforms to jump into this game with. Overall, there is some cool things this game does have to offer. It has a full-fledged campaign mode. You can unlock more wrestlers there. You have a cool comic book story to follow. The game honestly overall is surprisingly jam-packed with plenty of content, and the fact that you can play cross-play at the same time really has this game one of those that really you're going to have fun if you're a wrestling fan or if you've always just enjoyed playing mindless fighting games. The gameplay here is absolutely top notch. The special moves your characters do are absolutely flashy, insane, and just fun. And that really describes WWE 2K Battlegrounds on Stadia. Just plain absolute mindless fun, though I was completely turned off by the wrestlers locked behind a paywall. You just don't get much by buying the base game at $39.99, especially if you wanted to play certain characters. You're gonna have to pony up or spend a lot of hours targeting all these wrestlers. In conclusion, I would say this game is worth it at the $39.99. Of course, if you don't mind grinding or not having all the wrestlers, or maybe just get the deluxe version if you have an affinity for those wrestlers that you want. The game is just a blast, and I thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. It's mindless, chaotic, features plenty of content, and really the cross-play for me really sealed the deal and really adds that extra replayability that I didn't think the game had until I played it. But alright guys, if you guys enjoyed this review, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe to this channel for more Stadia videos like this. I'm Sunny, and I'll see you guys in the cloud.